I can't imagine the day that I'm not totally disgusted by a man. Genuinely, every single man disgusts me. A man that comes up to me on the street, a man that looks at me, any man in the entire vicinity. I don't even look up to see who's hitting on me. I don't even look up. I don't give a fuck what they look like. It's just a, no, ew.
Isn't it funny, gentlemen? Just yesterday we covered a video of women crying and whining and rolling on the floor because men don't ask us out anymore. We're not getting attention. Where are the gentlemen? Yet here you have like the perfect reason why men no longer want to hit these harpies on the street. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna take a look at dating. Ampu is hiding already, but he'll have to endure this with us. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. You want the channel to grow. But now, guys, let's get started with our first.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic. Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. Instead of making women the problem, saying that their standards are too high, maybe try and figure out why they don't want to be with you. What is it about you that maybe needs to change in order for a woman to want you? And they'll say, oh, there's no more good women left. Women are not like what they used to be. Women used to spend their days in the kitchen. Women only cared about taking care of the house and the kids. Oh yeah, and also women used to take our beatings. Women used to stay quiet. Women didn't complain. Women...
I mean, why don't you stop and think about those things for a while? You want men to pay attention to the reasons, yet you dismiss with irony and sarcasm men's concerns. But let's say we do, guys. Let's say we stop and think, why is it that most women don't want us? Now, I will not advise you to do that, mostly because this advice, guys, is the same as telling the parents of a spoiled, bratty, 12-year-old kid that is never satisfied, even if you give him the latest iPhones and the latest gifts, and you give him everything. You take him on a vacation to the best place on earth, and he's still whining and crying all the time. It's the equivalent of saying, why don't you stop for a while and think about the issues that your kid is raising? Maybe he has valid concerns as to why he is unhappy. No. He's just a spoiled ass brat who doesn't know any better, alright? And that's what women are. Now, I've done my research. I've stopped to think about why is it that women are always unhappy. And I've reached this conclusion. I think it's quite obvious. You don't need to... It's not rocket science, alright? To figure out why these women are so freaking spoiled. So... yeah, I'm not going to stop to think about it anymore.
Women didn't think they could get better. Women didn't have confidence and self-worth and weren't able to speak up for themselves. And that suited you. That's the kind of person you wanted. If you love your mom's generation so much, cool, maybe marry one of her single friends. Women are not the problem. They have just woken up and realized they deserve better, that they don't actually need anything.
Guys, by the way, any day, fucking any day, I'd marry a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, rather than these women. Any day, guys. This is not somehow, I got you there, why don't you marry one of those? Okay, give me one. Just any day of the week, guys. Men have wisened up, and they no longer care about attractiveness. They realize it doesn't cut it. It doesn't, make it. Just because you're attractive, which yes, you are, a lot of you young women are very attractive, but you're such a pain in the ass, it's not even close. Like, women are not even considering dating you in all seriousness for like 2 seconds. It doesn't even cross our mind, to be honest.
From these men, and they're only going to accept a man in their life if the man can make their life better. And if you cannot do that, you will not be chosen. If you can't level up and be the kind of man that women of this day and age want, you won't get to have a woman in this day and age.
Oh no! Anyway. How bad, gentlemen. You won't have a woman of today's day and age. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank God that you're not gonna punish me in this satanic way. What did she say, guys? Oh, we want a man who makes our lives better. Can I get a raise of hands, gentlemen? Of every single man that has given his whole fucking life away to try to please a woman, and she still dumped your ass? Can I please get a raise of hands? I'll be the first one. You give them everything, guys. You give them love, you give them time, you are considerate, with their little stupid bullshit emotions that are unstable. You take care of all the problems that they raise out of fucking thin air because they are unstable fucking children. You do everything. You're literally willing to give your life away for these women, and they still leave you. So I don't know what else I can do. And I'm not even gonna try. And a lot of men also aren't willing to try because they don't want a second fucking divorce, which is why you'll pass away alone.
Your tricks are not working anymore. The internalized misogyny, the oppression, all of that is not working anymore. Women are waking up from it. Women are healing. Women are learning to love themselves and their own company. Women are learning to support and love each other and have communities and have friendships that are valuable and fulfilling. We now know that getting married and having children is a choice, that you don't have to do that, that is not what makes you successful or fulfilled in life.
Guys, sorry to pause it again, but is that why so many women are alone, miserable? Oh, we've learned, we've healed, we're better, now we know, blah, 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 blah. Is that why dating fucking sucks ass? Is that why everyone is so unhappy and miserable? Is that why women are constantly crying, whining, and bitching about it? Ladies, speak up. You've had your feminism. You've had the laws changed regarding marriage, regarding the unaliving of babies. Now you have your pills and all these things, okay? Now we have matriarchies in many places around the world. There you go. And what are the results, guys? What are the results? The results are a total annihilation of the family unit. Women being alone and miserable with their plastic toys and 7 cats and boxed wine. We have an epidemic of children without fathers who... most of them grow up to be criminals or substance addicts or just miserable people who in turn create more broken families. We have the worst dating period that has ever existed in human history, right? We have a work disbalance as well. So we have all of that because of your little feminism. So you tell me what your healing has amounted to.
In fact, having kids when you haven't healed yourself and you don't know your own worth is actually the problem. It's why so many, if not all of us, have childhood traumas, have issues. What's happening right now is very normal. It's called evolution. It's happened many times before. When conditions change in the world, you either evolve to survive or you get left behind. This is evolution. Instead of complaining about it, evolve.
Come on, guys, evolve, just like a Pokemon. Now, I like that this woman is trying. I appreciate it, guys. She's not stupid or retarded. Her ideas are, for sure. But you can see her little brain working, right? So I'll genuinely give you an answer. You think that it's evolving, but it's degrading, okay? This idea of evolution is supposed to be for the better. If the world is literally fucking crumbling down, that is not evolution, okay? We haven't improved a single aspect of our lives. There is nothing that is better now that you've done your little revolution on gender norms. There is nothing that is better. This is not a revolution, right? We're talking about evolution. When you want to change something and make it better, you always have to replace it with something new. What have you replaced it with? Nothing. You just got rid of the old system, which of course had its flaws. I'm not gonna discuss that. It had its flaws, of course, but you've changed it for nothing. You just got rid of everything, and now there's nothing, and everybody's confused, and everybody feels like crap, right? And she says, "Oh, this is why we all have childhood trauma, because our parents, they didn't know any better, because our mothers didn't divorce our fathers to heal, and this is why we have childhood trauma." Well, I'd rather have childhood trauma than not have parents, if you ask me. I'd rather have a flawed family than not have one at all. How's that for a reason? Childhood trauma, guys. So, and this is what really bothers me. She has a point in saying that people have to be healed and grown before having children. She absolutely does. My problem is, there is no point in which you're going to be perfect. You realize that? Like, there's no point in which you're going to be the perfect parent. If you're waiting to be the perfect parent and all healed, you'll never have children. Humanity will just dissolve and cease to exist if we all wait around to be perfect and have all our lives in order. Like, people in the past, guys, have managed to have children during wars, during famines, during plagues, you know? They've managed to have not only kids, but they've managed to stick to their families in these trying times. They didn't stop to think, oh no, I have a childhood trauma, I can't do this. They just played with the cards they're dealt with, you know? So no one is saying to get out of your way and try to make your life harder while having children. Just try to make the best of it, but still have children. These women, always with their false pretense of wanting things to get better, and then they don't do anything about it. You see, again, guys, she says, well, I don't want no childhood trauma, I don't want to have a kid if I'm not ready. But then she doesn't do anything about it. She doesn't get ready, she doesn't make things better. She just doesn't have children and incentivizes other women to not have children, and then nobody is doing anything. Right? Nobody is actually evolving. They're just being terrible dating options that lead to nothing. But anyways, let's move on because I'm yapping too much. Let me know what you think, guys. Don't let me be the only yapper here. Now let's move on to this one.
So I'm 28 and I'm going to tell you the real reason why I look so good for my age. It's because while a lot of the other women my age have been like fucking dating these broke men and paying 50-50 and paying half the bills and buying their broke boyfriend shit and like, you know, being the placeholder girlfriend and then getting fucking screwed over. I've never done that shit. I refuse to do that. And all that money that I've, you know, saved, I've spent on skin treatments and like looking after myself and skincare and all that stuff. And yeah, most of the guys I've dated have actually paid for like that stuff. I've never paid rent in my life. When I've lived with a man, I've never paid on a date. So yeah, I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the women that.
And where's your husband? Right, first question. Where's the ring, madam? Come on, show it. Oh, I'm not like the other women who deal with these ass men, you know, that don't pay for stuff and that are not serious about it. I've only dealt with serious men. Okay, where's your serious man? Where's your marriage? Where's your ring? Where is he? Oh, he's not around. Oh, the men you've been with have also dumped you in the same manner that the other women have been dumped. Oh, so you're not different at all. You just saved a bit of money by not splitting the bill. Oh, okay. You're not any different, really.
And that are my age that have, you know, don't maybe look as good as me at the same age. It's because they've been doing that, dude. Just okay, yeah, dude. Gonna say it, because if you took all that money that you were spending on that man and you spent it on yourself, you'd look as good as me too. So
by the way, guys, I've literally never seen a man being provided for by a woman. I swear, maybe you have, maybe this is common in America. Apologies, I've literally never seen that, so I don't know where all these women are paying for these chads. Now, if you ask me, the reason why she looks so young is because there's this white substance, the male milk, that is known for rejuvenating facial skin. So this woman, guys, the whole town has nourished her face with their white substance. I think that's the reason why she looks younger, if you ask me. But regardless of that, you see, take it from the perspective of a man. So we know the perspective of a woman, right? She's been with all those dudes, they've paid for everything, they've paid for rent, they've done this, they've done that. And where are they? As a man, you're literally paying for these women, you're never going to see them again. You're paying for a woman who, in X amount of time, is going to be banging some other dude and sucking his wiener. That's what you're paying for. You know, look, it has its positives. Essentially, it boils down to having a professional stitute of your own. You're paying money and she's around and you bank her. That's what it amounts to. Like, sorry to be so cynical, guys, but most of men's girlfriends are essentially the only benefit you get out of them is the benefit you will get out of a professional stitute. These women are not loyal. These women will not stay with you. They won't give you children. They won't be a ride or die type of person. They're just a professional stitute that you hire for X amount of time before they dump your ass because the spark is gone. And in a lot of the instances, they turn out to be more expensive than actually going to hookahs. You know, so she's had all these men, these 17 men that have paid for her. Where are they now? She left them because she wanted something better. And now she's mocking them because, haha, they paid and I didn't. That's what you'll get out of most women. Now, let's move on, guys, to actually a good TikTok. What he done? Yes. Let's watch.
It be the same bitches with no job, no fucking aspirations, can't cook, can't clean, two DUIs deep, toxic as hell. And they be like, yeah, I'm the table. I am the table. What do you mean what I bring to the table? I'm the table. Bitch, I hate to break it to you. Your pussy's the table. Your pussy's the folding table that we're playing beer pong on right now, actually.
Oh, I love that. It's true. It's true. It's so good to hear a woman say it. Because look, again, it's not quantum physics. Everybody can see these women, guys, with like their 4,000 standards. And then they are just a public toilet. They are just the town bicycle having a lot of standards. So love to see that. But guys, now let's move on to our article. We'll wrap up the video. Do you regret being a part of hookup culture? Why or why not? 30 male. I'm 30 male and I had S3X later in life to one woman, no longer together. I had my religious beliefs but also wanted a connection with someone first. I guess I was always a softie. So, I can guarantee you guys, I can bet my ass, I can bet my pyramid, I can bet Ampu that this man wanted to stay with this woman forever. I can bet my life on it. Right? 30-year-old male, he's had S3X with just one woman and they're no longer together. I can tell you right now. Sorry. He's fought for this woman. He's done everything in his power to be with this woman, and she dumped his ass for the usual reasons, right? This is the most common scenario, guys. Yes, there are bad boys out there. Yes, there are men who are not serious about it. There are men, you know, who have bad intentions, of course. But the majority of men, they are ride or die type of people, right? Most men, and guys, just take a look at your friends, take a look at your surroundings, take a look at the stories, you know. This has always been the case for me. The vast majority of men, they want to have a serious relationship. And it usually takes these same men to get fucked by women many times to eventually become players, because now they are so cynical about it. But let's continue though. Anyway, sometimes I go back and forth on if I should have had more fun when I was in my prime of life. I had many opportunities but always chose to be the nice guy. It seems it's 50-50 split on if people regret it or not. Some people say they enjoy that phase and others wish they could take it all back. Obviously I could still sleep around now if I wanted, but feels childish at this age, not getting any younger. So what do you all think? Do you have regrets? I'd like to hear the perspective of those who had had many partners. So let's take a look at a while. I have in the past, don't regret it, but also wouldn't be interested in it now either. I do think it's a bit cringy past a certain age. Always cringy. I don't regret it at all, says this other one. Why would you regret it? So this is how you know someone doesn't have any morals at all. I also don't think you are missing out on anything whatsoever by not hooking up with people. I think of it like bowling. It's a fun thing to do at the time, but the majority of the time it's easily forgettable after the fact. You wouldn't regret not going bowling, would you? Yeah, it's just like bowling, except the fact that when I go bowling, I don't get 40 dicks rammed through my ass. Except that difference, you know. I also don't lose on pair bonding ability or waste my soul on meaningless interactions. Think of it, it has literally nothing to do with bowling, but alright. Stupid analogy there. It's also never too late to go bowling if you decide that's something you want to do for 6 months or a year. Life is short, man. Live it how you want to. Yeah, I just love this advice, guys. You know, the people who have literally not a single ounce of morality, like no principles whatsoever. Just it's life, man. Just live. Just let's do anything, guys. Come on now. Why do people like this exist, guys? I swear, I never got that. I understand there are people who are more conservative, people who are less conservative, people who are more traditional and less. I understand it. But this belief that, come on dude, it's life, just do whatsoever, man, who cares? I really don't get it. I really don't understand how this advice could come from any person who is above 5 years of age. I think that even a 5-year-old child has more rules in his life and set of morals that he abides by. It's always these people's lives as well, guys, are such a mess. Just take a look at the people who share this advice. Their life is always such a mess. And the only reason they don't feel bad about it is because they are so stupid, they don't realize how much they've screwed their lives. Do you know that, guys? Like, they are so stupid and life is so meaningless for them that they literally don't care. You know, they've lost the capability of having a real observation on how their life is going. Let's read a few more. I regret about half of it because men are just terrible at STX and too addicted to corn. They're the only ones who truly benefit from hookup culture. First off, they're not. Second off, I also don't get this part where men are just terrible at STX. I've heard some women say it. I hear it too often. I know, guys. You let me know your perspectives. I've had 2 girlfriends. They've been quite pleased. You know, they've really liked the wiener. So, I know. No, not my personal experience. I don't know why so many women whine about it. Too long, too fucking long. No regrets for being myself. F hookup culture. Yes, I regret it. I'm a woman. Honestly, I feel like every guy I've hooked up with hasn't given a rat's ass about me. Yes, that's the case always. Both men and women who participate in hookup culture, yes, they don't give a rat's ass about you. So that alone, that you're giving your body to someone who couldn't give a rat's ass about you, is just wrong. Also, just the misogynistic term used up indicates that some men truly just use women when they're having S3X with them. Yes. You're not in a relationship and you having a one-night stand. Of course he's using you. What else do you think? Do you think he's doing like charity work by being with you? Do you think he's doing it because he's a selfless individual? I don't like the fact that I've let undeserving people have access to my body, and all for their own benefit. Some of it I don't regret. I just wish I had calmed down a little in my single party phase. Yeah, guys, I just love women who have had their single party phase. I love it. It's honestly the best way to get a bunch of STDs if that's what you're interested in. But guys, we're gonna close off on these thoughts. Hookup culture is just wrong. There are so many studies, guys, talking about sexual morality. There are so many. You don't have to be religious. It has nothing to do with religion. There are just so many studies on how the more the body count increases, the higher the chances for divorce. Not only that, but there are studies linked to how a problematic childhood or missing a father often involves or leads to, should I say rather, people being promiscuous. All right, it's just, if you take a look at the whole picture, it's degenerate behavior. You know, it's degenerate behavior. It is. And all the people saying, it's just life, man, who cares? Take a look at the studies, you moron. Now, personally, I don't need the studies because I have more than 2 working brain cells. But if you're that stupid, go online. I'm gonna fucking break my table because I'm coughing. Anyway, guys, let's finish the thought. Go online, write, the negatives of promiscuity, the negatives of giving your body away, the negatives of this. Look at the studies, look at all the information we have, guys. I simply don't understand how anyone can have this opinion that it doesn't matter. It's the same as saying, oh, having a substance addiction is no problem at all. Now, if you were to say having a substance addiction is a problem, but I choose to do it, okay, I respect you. Just be clear. Yes, I am a 304, but that's what I want out of life. Okay, congratulations. You do you. We don't agree, but okay, do what you want. But say things for what they are. It's absolutely degenerate, immoral, and bad to participate in hookup culture. So just say it outright. Why are you lying to people that it doesn't matter? It clearly does, right? So yeah, that's my issue. But anyway, John, let me know what you think about hookup culture. And guys, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.